Look what we got here, boys. We got us a two-stroke pipe. F and M, rather. FMF, holy. And yeah, so I got this. I'm thinking about putting on my weed whacker. Should be pretty kick-ass once everything is all said and done. Just got to shorten her up and it should be pretty kick-ass. Should sound pretty good too once I'm done on the pole on. You know, I don't have a steel, so it's not that quite awesome. But once I put this pipe on, I should be adding like 40 more cc's on another 40 horse on a 40 cc weed whacker. So this should work out pretty good. You know, just gotta get some springs, gasket. Should be good to go. Should be humming right along. I think I'm gonna make a strap so that way it goes around my neck, or at least around my shoulder anyway. But just shitting you. Take a look what we got. Oh yeah, we got us a quad that's missing just about everything. Yeah. So you probably ask yourself, what's the deal with this thing? So there was supposed to be a video up Saturday. There's supposed to be a video up Sunday. And you're probably guessing today is Monday. Today is Monday. It's about 11 o'clock. And having a little bit of difficulty with the videos, guys, lately. This is like the 9th time it's happened within this month. And this time I really screwed myself over. Yesterday when I went to go do the video that's going to be at the end of this video, it got deleted. So there was no breakdown of this thing or anything like that, and everything got cocked over. So no surprise there, you know. When you put together a really good video, it comes out really shitty in the end. But yeah, so here's what we got, guys. I picked this up Saturday. I drove down to Connecticut, just a little bit past Hartford, and I grabbed this thing. It is I thought, the guy told me, it was a 96 Polaris scrambler, and I've been putting 2 and 2 together and trying to figure out what the deal is with this thing, and I knew it wasn't a 96 because 96 to 99, I think it is, or 98, they had the 4-wheel drive in them. Now see, I didn't want the 4-wheel drive. This is what made it a kind of sort of a difficult thing to do, is try to find one without the 4-wheel drive, because I don't need 4-wheel drive. I'm not going to be using it, and it's more lighter on the front end. You know, eventually what I could do is I can actually put a 4-wheel drive kit on this. It's basically a couple screws here, a transmission, 2 drive axles, and a chain, and it's on, you know. It might cost maybe an extra $200-300, but I'll have it. Probably asking yourself, so what's up with this thing? So this is actually, I found out, I typed in the VIN number, this is a 2000 Polaris Scrambler, 400 cc, and like I said, I drove all the way down to Connecticut to pick this thing up. Reason being why I drove so far is because it is the fuck was that? Holy. Huh. I don't know what the hell it was. It must smell like a trailer coming down the street. So the deal is, these things are just so hard to find in my area that I had to drive that far. The price range around these things in my area, they're all going for basically like $1,300, $1,400, $3,200, you know. And this is within like a 150-mile radius from my house. I've been searching Vermont, I've been searching Maine, I've been searching some parts of New York, some parts of Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and it's just been a complete mess because they're just so expensive, you know. And I got this one extremely cheap. Basically, I could sell the seat that's sitting right outside this door here, that Polaris seat right there, for the price I paid for this quad. You guys want to take a guess in the comments below, see what you guys can come up with. I know we still got those signs to give away. We're going to figure out something with those in the next couple of weeks here. But basically, it's got 2 brand new rear tires on it. Still even have the nubs on. Still even got the red line in it. Unless still get the red line in it. I thought I might have washed it off the other day, but these tires are brand new. The guy literally just put them on 4 months ago. The 2 front shocks and the rear shocks were rebuilt just at the ending of last summer. And there's a few other oddball stuff with it that the guy's done to it. But overall, it's a freaking cheap quad. And you want to know something? For the price I paid for it, it's pretty damn well for what the money I'm going to be putting into it. I'm going to be putting almost 500 in on this thing for parts. I'm going to show you what the deal is. So we have a chain case here that's ripped apart. Basically, I got the thing already halfway disassembled. The only thing that was left in it was the chain case. First thing that went in this thing was the motor. The guy blew his top end. I have the piston right over here. Take a look at this piston. I thought my piston on my ZRT800 was bad. Take a look at that. That's the ring right there. Seized. Completely flush. Check that out. Holy. And you get that broken chunk there, and there's a couple of cracks in, come on, in the sidewall here, right there. There's actually a crack right in there. I know the cameras can't focus for shit, but there's that crack, and it's just unreal. Take a look at that, how much wear that is. Isn't that ridiculous? I thought my ZRT800 piston was bad. So that's the piston. Came out of that. Cylinder surprisingly is mint. If like the whole this whole tub right here is full of parts. Holy shit. That was scary. Basically the whole bin is full of parts. Basically all the stuff I need to rebuild this thing together. But I gotta get a new top end for it. Starters on it, frozen up. I'm gonna replace it. Missing some screws here and there. The cylinder, I just can't believe how mint it is. The cylinder head, that's fine, not a problem there. Basically, that's what we gotta do to the motor. But when the motor blew, the guys towed it back with another quad, and then when they were doing it, they, for some stupid reason, they left the thing in a gear. And what happened was, this is an automatic, by the way. They snapped the chain in 7 spots, believe it or not. All over this chain, there's like broken links, like right there, and you know, right there. It's ridiculous. So they snapped the chain inside the chain case, but luckily it didn't damage any of the gears. So that's pretty kick-ass. So I had to rip apart that. The clutch is in the bottom of this bin. I had to reassemble that. That wasn't fun. Gas tank. You know, I got the plastics outside. It's fucking the most ugliest color yellow that they could ever put on this thing. I'm either going to paint the plastics or buy new plastics, because they're just fucking ugly. They're like canary yellow. You know, it just doesn't look good on this quad. So I think I'm gonna get another set of plastics on Craigslist or something like that. Strap them on. You know, maybe the white ones or something like that. I don't know, but I gotta change out this battery. Fucking batteries. And we're back. So, yeah, I don't even know where I was. So, basically, it needs a lot of parts. Basically, it's gonna come all down to about $500. I mean, 500 bucks, just about in parts. A lot of the parts are, you know, the top end's going to be around $100. The chain case, the parts I need for that, that's about $60. I do sprocket and chain, about another $50. A belt is another $50. You know, that stuff there just adds up pretty quickly. And then there's a bunch of small stuff that's missing on here that I got to replace. So there's quite a bit. I did notice one of these tires are put on backwards, as you can see right there. So the whole tire needs to come off the rim and then flipped around. So that's not major there. I might just send it out to get it done, because the tire shop down the road there only. Alright, let's try that again. The memory card just filled up on me. Son of a bitch. But yeah, so the tire is put on backwards. I'm just going to take it down the street for them to flip it around. 20 bucks, it's a done deal. Needs rear brakes. You know, it's just the small stuff that's going to add up. You know, when I was washing everything up, I just gave it a quick little washing the other day. I'm going to wash it again today with the power washer. But I noticed the air inner bushing, I guess, in here is bent. So I'm going to get that replaced along with 2 new spacers in between it, so we can get this all fixed up. It's like a $12 part, nothing too major, but it is a liquid cooled, which is pretty good. And I've seen these things on YouTube. Musty One used to have one, and these things rip, you know. So it's going to be a fun project, I think. It's going to be a weekender project, so it's not going to be a weekday project. Today I'm only going to, basically, this is the video for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, basically. This is going to be the video. Because basically I'm going to wash this thing up today. I got to go out later on today. I got to do a bunch of stuff, and then I got to help my mom clean the basement because our boiler in the basement went the other day. So we have one of them old cast iron ones. So guess who's getting the scrap metal off that thing? Hell yeah! But you know, I guess the thing, it just hauls, and it's got the overdrive on it, so it's pretty kick-ass. I mean, the 2 rear tires are brand new. How can you beat it? You feel like Duros or something? Yeah, Duro. But it's overall, it's been in a garage, sitting there, you know, since the guy blew it up. It hasn't never sat outside, the guy said. He is the first owner or the second owner of it, and he wasn't sure what exactly happened, so this is why I'm breaking everything down now. He basically just pulled the motor off, pulled it out. He knew the piston was thing, but he didn't know about the chain case, so he just said, fuck it. You know, sell it on Craigslist, basically, and that's how I get it. But this thing has no rust on it at all, which is surprising, you know. There's a few like spots there where rubbing would be, but, you know, a lot of times at the welds, it's all rusted. This thing, nothing. Clean. But I will paint up a few spots here and there. Nothing too spectacular, just to hit it. And overall, it's going to be a nice little quad. Eventually, the rear, I will pull off the rear tires, axle assembly, so I can replace the 2 or a couple of bearings that are in there. Not that big of a deal. I'll do it before I go away, because this thing's going away on vacation with me. So yeah, I gotta make sure it's in tip-top shape. Yeah, just can't talk these days. What's up with that? But it's a very nice unit. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the upcoming videos in this thing. And we got these 2 push motors we're going to work on this week. We got a Toro commercial. I don't even know what kind of engine's on this. Oh, Kawasaki. So we got a Cali on that one. We got a Briggs on that one. But that one's not running at the moment. That one does run. We're just going to give them both a tune-up. I got to pick out the parts either for this thing, either today or tomorrow. I haven't quite decided. I got all these packages I got to ship out. And it's still getting a 3 motor box up. So things are moving, at least. I still got the engine to put together over there. I didn't have time to get a gasket for it this weekend. Hopefully it'll come in with the parts when I get the parts in for this thing. I get 2 tractors I eventually got to pick up this week. One of which is, I think, an MTD, and the other one is a Craftsman. Oh yeah, they're both Craftsmans. Not sure yet. So it's going to be another busy week, guys. This thing here is going to be put out in the tent. Once we get those shelves moved out, holy crap, I got to slow down on the talking. Once we get the shelves moved out of my tent, I'm going to put this thing in there. And we also have another 4-wheeler coming in today. Either today or tomorrow. If you guys remember the Chinese ATV that I didn't crash. The one Chinese ATV I had and I didn't crash it. Yeah, we get that one coming in. It's Dwayne's ATV, but he's selling it to my cousin. So now my cousin's buying it. And we got to get that thing in here because it lost spark over the winter. He drove it in there, he parked it, and now it's not getting spark. So we're going to figure that out, run some tests on it. And eventually we're going to have another Polaris come in here, which is my cousin again. He's got another one that he's buying for his son. So we got quite a bit of stuff going on within the next month here. So anyway, we're going to end the video here. I'm going to start rendering and uploading this thing because it's going to be a long video. It's going to take a while because I still got the update to put on the following video of this, so hopefully you guys understand what the hell I'm talking about. And yeah. Oh yeah, we obviously need a front end alignment. Check that out. Fucked up, but it does have the Fox shock on it. Fox makes a really good shock. If you're looking to put them on your snowmobile or ATV, those things fucking kick ass. They're expensive, I'll tell you that. With a ride is a lot easier. But anyway, we'll talk to you guys probably tomorrow. Hopefully everything will get back to normal. And tomorrow we'll maybe do a little bit of work on something or other. So, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Hopefully you guys all have a good day. See ya. Oh yeah, 5 guys at McDonald's in one day. That's a disaster for your asshole right there. 5 Guys Burgers, I mean, not 5 Guys meaning 5 Guys. 5 Guys Burgers at McDonald's. Just thought I should clear that up. Holy, what a mess this thing is. Just can't get over the fact how much it's just so much disassembled. I've been pulling more and more parts off it, and the more I pull off, it's like there's gonna be nothing left of it. Damn. Anyway, so today is Sunday. As you can see, we're at the shop. Actually, the video just got uploaded. Actually, probably should just be arriving. It's 6 o'clock now. I'd made an iPhone video today, but I'm like, yeah, screw it. I ain't gonna bother doing that. It was just a bunch of talking, so there's no point. I can just do a direct upload. And I guess we can just call this an update video with this quad here. So, here's what I've done today. Pretty much I gave it a quick little washing. Nothing too special. Just hosed her down. Didn't even bother power washing. I'll power wash it later on in the week here. But, I've been going through this thing quite a bit today, trying to figure out some of the stuff I need to get, and some of the common problems with these things, and just a whole mess of different things. And I finally figured out basically all the things I need. Last thing I'm actually just getting ready to take a look at is the gas tank. And would you look at that? I don't have to buy one because it's already on one. Awesome. I didn't see this in the box. It's a 3-way fuel shutoff, and this thing right here through Polaris is about $39. So I was like, oh, I hope I don't have to buy that. And sure enough, I have it, which is good. Looks like all it needs is just the switch. So that's mint tits right there. Can't get any better. So yeah, some of the things I've noticed is I was sitting on it earlier, just rocking it back and forth, just trying to feel for a few things, and I noticed the front A-arm here is kind of sort of cocked over just a little bit this way. It's sticking out more than what it should be. Turns out that the inner rod that goes through here is bent, so I have to replace that. The lower ball joint here, it could be replaced. I think I'm just going to rock with it for a little bit, and then before my big trip in the summer, I will replace it along with a few other little things like the rear bearings. Rear bearings are kind of sort of gone. I mean, they're decent enough to where I can, you know, test everything out, make sure everything's all good, and then again, I'll just come back and replace it. The sprockets, this sprocket here and the sprocket that goes to the gear case, those are going to get replaced. That's about a $60 part, $50 part, and it comes with the chain. It's actually cheaper to buy the kit than it is to buy each thing separate. For instance, like I needed the sprocket for the gear case because it's all stripped out kind of, and I also need a chain, and boom, right there is, I think that was about 80 bucks. So it's just cheaper to buy aftermarket kit, and it gives you everything for just about 60 bucks. So that's not too bad. Brake pads, got to order up some brake pads for it. Not that big of a deal. You know, just still figuring some stuff out. Making sure all the engine mounts are there, which they all are, which is good. Haven't quite figured out what this welding job is down here for yet. I don't know. Sorry about that, guys. The memory on the thing ran up. So, yeah, I don't know what the deal is with this bracket here. I'm going to leave it until I put the motor on, try and figure out what the deal is with it. I don't even think it's supposed to be there. So I'm going to go ahead and probably cut that off or something, try and figure that out. Chain, obviously that was the problem yesterday. I noticed right away that the chain is gone in this thing. So that's not too bad. A couple of, you know, cosmetic stuff, like the knob and a couple of dash pieces here and there are going to order up. But mostly the major components that are going to cost the most is the top end kit for this engine. I found out today, I ran the VIN number on this, and it turns out this isn't a 90, I think I said 96 yesterday, or a 97 Polaris scrambler. This is actually a 2000 Polaris scrambler. I ran the VIN number on the Polaris website. Pretty much, if you're curious to know how to do it, is you find your VIN number. It's going to be the 17-digit long, and if you type in on Google Polaris identification, it'll bring you to the Polaris official website, and you type in the VIN number, and it'll give you the year. It will give you the model of it. It will give you the amount of cc's. It will tell you the serial number of your engine, and it will tell you the owner who owns it, basically. So mine actually says the previous owner to me, so I got to get that changed. But when I was in the process of doing that, I found out, yes, this is the 2000 Polaris Scrambler 2x4. The yellow plastics I still have outside. It's all yellow. I think I'm going to change those plastics though, because I just think they're hideous. But anyway, so when I found that out, I went immediately to the engine. It's sitting right over there. Yeah, I got that apart too. And I want to check the casing number, the serial number on this. And it turns out the recoil that's on here, it looks fairly new. I'm not going to say something's up, but something is a little bit up. The serial number did not match the numbers that were on this frame here. So I have reason to believe, I'm not 100% sure yet, that this engine is a different engine. I'm not sure yet because of the casing. The casing has a different number, but the casing looks like it was replaced. So right now it's sitting underneath here. I'm not even going to dig it out because it's almost to the bottom of the box. But the casing looks different. Like even the color changed. The aluminum is completely different. So it's a hard kind of sort of thing to figure out. I'm going to call up a Polaris dealership tomorrow and see if they can't figure it out. They've been usually pretty good Plastyle, you know. So they'll figure it out maybe for me. Maybe there's underneath all this grime and dirt is possibly like another number, but I just don't know. And I need to figure out that number because from 96 to 99 or 98, they changed the piston a little bit and a few other little things, so I have to get that right because it is different. There is a pretty good significance difference, so hopefully they can help me out trying to figure out what the deal is on this engine. Maybe the recoil came off of like a 2000, maybe it came off of like a 2002, 2000, 2001, somewhere in that range where it could actually help me out quite a bit. So I got to figure that out. And I was curious to know if you guys, maybe one of you guys might know what this is. It's this like little dipstick on the side of the engine. But this is a two-stroke. What the hell is this thing here for? It's got a little oil in it too. So I don't know. Is that like a bottom of a casing oil? I don't really know. So maybe one of you guys might know. But so there's that. You know, I pulled the recoil off today so I could pull the starter off. I got to get a new starter for it. But mainly the main things that are going to cost the most is the top end. That's going to be around just about $100, maybe a little bit more. The starter will be about another $40. The chain for it will be for the main drive. That's about another $45, $35 maybe. And the chain sprocket setup, that's about another $60, $65, $70 for that. I just don't remember the prices offhand. And the rest is just a bunch of minor stuff, which isn't too bad. Probably grand total on this thing with the new battery for it, I'll be looking in about $500 range, which isn't bad. Which is actually really decent because I didn't want to spend any more than $900 on an ATV for the summer. So it will actually help me out. And I looked up the Blue Book value of this thing to figure out if it's even worth to dump the money into. And actually on trade-in value, which is like the lowest that you'll ever get for something, is $1,100 for this. Resale value, if I were to go and sell it, it's $1,600. So I'd say it's a pretty damn good investment, you know. Another thing I found out today, as I was looking at everything, the tire here, it's actually on backwards. If you look at the two tire setup, that tire there needs to be flipped. So I think I'm just going to send it on down the road there. There's a guy that does these tires, and he should be able just to swap it out relatively cheap, for about $20, and I'll be able to get tires swapped out. So that's not too bad there. Can't really think of much else that I've noticed with it, you know. Seems like everything's intact. It needs a little bit of wiring to be, you know, re-crimped together. Not that big of a deal. I gotta get a new solenoid for that guy because I noticed one of the bolts are broken. You know, another little $20 item there. But I have noticed that the Polaris parts, compared to Polaris and Arctic Cat, Polaris parts are definitely cheaper than Arctic Cat parts. I have noticed that. They're damn near almost half the price of like an Arctic Cat part. So that's not too bad. I figured out the clutch today. Doesn't look too bad. I should be able to reassemble it by myself and figure it out. I gotta get a couple of bolts for the clutch though. The main ones that bolt into the engine and the side of it. So I'll have to figure that out. Still got to figure out where exactly the whole clutch setup goes. I'm not exactly sure yet. I know the engine's going to sit right about here. I'm not sure. Yeah, the engine should be on this side. And then obviously there's going to be something on this side that holds the secondary clutch on. So I'll have to figure something out. If I'm missing something, I'm not quite sure yet. So I will have to take a better look at everything before I set everything up. You know, it could be just something minor. So there's that. You know, that's basically everything about that I've noticed so far with it. That would explain why the steering is cockeyed too. You know, wheels are straight right now, steering post isn't. So that's actually one of the problems with that. And you know, I'll just replace the 2 brass bushings that it needs and fix it. Handlebar, got a little bit of play in it. Simple fix. They have these 2 plastic bushings up here. I'm just going to change those out. So that's not that big of a deal. But you wouldn't believe the amount of dirt that came off this thing today. It was like, holy crap. You know? So I should be alright on this one. I think I got it. I think I can figure it out to where I should be able to get it running. You know? Shouldn't be that bad. I think the hardest part of this is just right now going to be trying to figure out the engine. You know? Because that is just going to be the hardest part. Trying to figure out what kind of engine this is. If it's a 96, a 97, a 98, you know, it just can go on and on and on. So, hopefully maybe there's another number on here. I kind of sort of dug around here today, you know, with my finger trying to feel around some stuff, but I couldn't feel for anything really, other than the one casing number that was on the aluminum housing. So, I don't know. But, yeah, so that's basically what we got going on. As you can see, we got 2 other lawnmowers in. I'll be working on those probably Wednesday or Thursday. No big rush there. I got to pick up the rest of the parts for the zero turn tomorrow, hopefully. You know, the carburetor and a few other different things like that. So I'll have to get that somewhat on the going. Same deal with the engine. Hopefully parts will be in soon for that. The pipe that came with this has a small dent in it. I think I'm just going to take one of those body spot welder dent puller type deals, and it should just pull it right out pretty good. So that's nothing major. But, you know, that's what basically got going. And I also discovered the other day that I couldn't figure why my welder just runs like shit half the time. It turns out that my negative and positive are on backwards. This right now is set up for flux core wire, not MIG wire. So I have to change everything out, and that would explain why it just sucks to weld so bad. You know, it seemed like it was just I was starting to think it was just a shitty welder in general. You know, and sure enough, that's actually my problem. I have to just swap the positive and negative out. So that's not too bad there, you know. So, this is where it's going on. I think this is going to be like a weekender project, not a weekday project. So, you won't be seeing much of this during the weekdays. You know. So, just wanted to bring that up too. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to be picking up 2 Craftsmans for parts. So, we'll be chopping those up pretty good. You know, there's a few other stuff. My pants are falling down. Jesus Christ. You know. But I think everything looks good. I mean, I haven't found any cracks in the frame, nothing too serious. I pulled the piston out. I'm trying to think what I did with that. What did I do with the piston? I don't even know what I did with the piston. I don't know. Huh, I lost the piston. Anyway, there was a good sized crack in it too. I don't know what I did with the piston. I'm sure it'll pop up eventually. But, I don't know. So, I guess we'll just have to wait and see how everything plays out with this thing. Hopefully we'll get it running up pretty soon. You know, the transmission's going to be put together like a piece of cake. I think the hardest part, again, is just going to be that engine. So, you know, it is what it is. And here's the starter gear. So, I have to buy a new bottom end for it. Pretty common with these polarises. Or actually, any polarises, really, because they put them in the most stupidest spot. But that's about it. So I think we're in the video here, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed a little bit of an update. Wasn't much of a video, but I just wanted to share with you some of the stuff I've figured out with this thing. And, you know, basically what I've seen so far about it. You know, I'm just glad to get the flush together because that was going to be a bitch of a thing to do if I couldn't figure it out. But I figured it out, you know. So I think everything else is all set now. So anyway, we'll probably talk to you guys tomorrow. Hopefully you all have a good night. And we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. See you.